There's definitely a place for renting. Whatnot's going to be just like eBay, Amazon, TikTok Shop, where you're not getting the customer email. You're getting their address, but you don't own them. It's a no-brainer. Owning's better, but there's absolutely a place for renting.
Almost Pride, sustainable company, yes or no?
Of course we are.
Being a sustainable company, by offering monthly subscriptions, you offer convenience to your customers.
Correct.
Being a convenience to somebody becomes, in a sense, a commodity. So you actually, in the way Adam and you run the company, you are providing sustainable products with convenience attached to it. So with sustainability, you can do both. With convenience, you can't.
Our customers are doing this already on their own, and that's just a part of their natural organic posting habit. So they're becoming a free affiliate influencer, and within 10 years, it's going to be a tough space to compete with because that's the natural evolution of consumers on social media.
All right, let's go ahead and you can say that, Larry. Whoops, coming back. All right, we're here today, and I'm going to introduce everyone, make sure we go over everything, but we are doing a little podcast here today, a live podcast here today with the ASOM Podcast. And for those who do not know what ASOM Podcast is, it is a podcast about perspective. A for agency, S for SaaS, O for operator, M for marketer. That's what we stand for.
Welcome to the ASOM Pod, where we talk a lot. Ecom is the path that we walk a lot. From 4 point of views when we're talking shop. Amer from the agency and Jimmy from SaaS. John has an Android, but give him a pass, cause he's an operator building brands like a carpenter. And that's Bryan, he is the marketer. Like I said, this the ASOM Pod, where we talk a lot. Ecom is the path that we walk a lot. From 4 point of views when we're talking shop.
And what we're going to do here today is I'm going to bring everyone around. But before we start, I want to start by introducing everybody on stage here. I'll kind of go around the room here. So in the middle over there with the hat backwards is John Roman. He's the Android-loving survival king. What's up, John? He's the CEO of BattleBox. You guys saw him yesterday. Say hello.
Hey, I saw most of you all yesterday live shopping. Excited to be here.
Yeah.
It was
very
pretty
cool.
decent.
Pretty decent. And then all the way on the right over there,
Thank you.
with the hair, with the bald head over there, is the Prince of Bosnia and the mayor of Chicago. He thinks Chicago's number one. Anyone think Chicago's the best city in the world? You got a fans.
Thank you.
Fans. There you go, buddy. You got it. But this is Amer Grozdanic. We welcome him. He's the CEO of Perella.
Hi, guys. First of all, I just want to thank everybody for being here. You guys are what make this amazing, and choosing to spend 2 days with us and a few minutes with us on the stage. Super cool. So thank you all for coming out and having some fun with us.
Awesome. And last but not least over here, we've got a self-proclaimed funniest dude on LinkedIn. He's the meat guy. He runs an amazing raw food pet company that everyone should buy their food in. So that's my plug there for Adam here if he's listening to me, in case he gives me a discount. So with that being said, Bryan MacDonald.
Yeah, hey everyone, I'm not going to waste your time like Amer did, so let's get started.
Look, guys, what's exciting about what we do here, ASOM. ASOM is actually a part of Commerce Roundtable. This is one of our media arms of Commerce Roundtable, and one of the ways that we get people to this event and different things they're doing, and I kind of lead this thing as the moderator. But now today, we didn't want to just sit up here and babble and talk to you, and anyone who's seen us on live stage, we like to make a little presentation because we want audience participation. We want to have fun together, and we want something that's relevant here together. So today, we are playing Hot or Not, Ecom Edition. How many people remember what Hot or Not was? Yeah, okay. We've all aged ourselves here. So who doesn't know what Hot or Not is? Oh, it's got people. That's good. That's good. Well, Hot or Not was, what was it, 2010? 2000?
Yeah, it was 2011.
Yeah, maybe 2011. Yeah, thanks. 2011, there was an internet phenomenon where people were rating people, but we made an Ecom Edition because we want to talk about different topics in the market. And what we would like to do, and the kind of way that we'll run this is I'll start off, I'll announce it, I'll talk about it for a second, and then we'll let the audience vote. Is it a hot topic or a not topic? And we'll go there, and then we'll turn to everybody and get their perspective. So coming up number one is owning versus renting customers. Now, this isn't really a hot or not. So we're gonna use an own or rent thing. So owning your customers, who's into owning your customers? I would hope a lot of you guys, since you're in direct to consumer. And then we got renting customers. Oh, some people love that.
TikTok Shop, Amazon.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, very cool. Well, let's go around the room, guys. Let's talk. I'm going to start with you, John. John being on the brand, having a $20 million subscription company into outdoor survival space. I'd love to learn about your spectrum because you believe in one side very much so.
Yeah, so I absolutely believe in owning your customers. Now, there's definitely a place for renting. I mean, yesterday I was talking about Whatnot. Whatnot's going to be just like eBay, Amazon, TikTok Shop, where you're not getting the customer email. You're getting their address, but you don't own them, right? You can't market to them. You can't drop them in your marketing ecosystem. So to me, it's a no-brainer. Owning's better, but there's absolutely a place for renting. I think you just have to kind of weigh certain aspects of it. So again, not to hate on TikTok Shop, it's a 7-figure channel for us, but very transactional. And I think you have to be profitable on that channel in its own accord for it to make sense, because you're not getting a lot of people back to your site for direct purchases. And I think that matters, right? So, you have a lot of people talking about TikTok Shop. Oh, it's great. It's revenue. But you got to look at it. You got to be profitable on it. You got to be single first transaction profitable, because you don't own them, right? And the reality is owning is 100% better.
Yeah,
but renting can be top of funnel for you.
Yeah, and I think about the own rent thing in my head comes to running a business versus a brand, right? So our brand's fourth generation. We've been around since 1950. I mean, we've had customers that have been feeding our food for 30 years across all their dogs growing up. And the way I think about own versus rent isn't necessarily the channel, but the way in which their journey begins after first purchase, right? So for us, a food product's really sticky. If you have food, you're not going to have any retention. No one's going to keep buying from you. So when you create a brand, you create a great enough product in order to make your product sticky in the lifestyle in which the consumer lives in, right? When you're running a business and you're chasing all the that you saw this morning, you're never going to build a brand. When you have a brand, you have a product. So when I own a customer, I have testimonials from 30, 40 years ago that I've lived in the owned space, because I know that customer's always going to keep coming back because of the quality in which of the product that I make, and then the brand experience that I give my customer. I'm not necessarily worried about chasing revenue. I'm worried about chasing an LTV and bringing someone alongside our family and product that over the lifetime, we have people that spend $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 from us on an LTV base because we own them, but we own them in the channel and product that we live in, and not necessarily how they buy, but treat them like, it's sad to say, I don't want to say I own them, right? But when you do have a customer that purchases from you, focus on the product and the way you treat them, and that is what a brand is all about. So that's the way I think about owning them versus renting them.
But wouldn't you think there's different ways to skin a cat? Like, you don't have to only do it one way. It sounds like you're pretty
100%.
Yeah. And so there's ways, and some people shared ways that they're doing it in the market. And it doesn't always mean that it's the same way that you think people should do it.
Correct.
Amer?
I'm aligned a lot with John. I think, though, renting customers is not necessarily bad if you're doing like a Kickstarter, if you're doing eBay, if you're trying to validate a product really quickly and then go to owning, kind of like rent to own model, I guess. But owning is owning, and having a relationship in a community is, I think, the only way to scale a sustainable business, whether you're an agency or a brand. And I would never rent my John, who happens to be a client, to somebody else, or rent him from somebody else. I want John from myself, as well as Bryan, and as anybody else. So if you guys are interested in being purchased, let me know. But
so you said something there, sustainability, and I think that's a key element, right? So don't get me wrong, I don't have a problem with renting. I'd prefer to own, but renting if I'm profitable day one, or renting if I have a path towards ownership, it's great, right? It's top of funnel.
But I don't think it's even like a pathway. If you have a ton of inventory that's not moving in your website, and you can throw it on a third-party channel where you don't own the customer, is it better to move merchandise that way, or to have money sit on the shelf and collect dust? I mean, I think there's certain scenarios where renting is not a bad thing. I just don't think it's
No, I think that's a great example.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a business choice more than anything else at the end of the day. So there's no right or wrong answer to it. I think it's a preference. Trying to do both is harder, but obviously there's always a desire on one side. All right, let's move to the next one here. We're moving over to sustainability versus convenience on position, right? So sustainability people, who likes that? Oh, no one like, oh, we got a handful.
we got
Okay, we got some. And then we've got convenience. Who likes to sell convenience? Okay, we've got some mixtures here.
Sales tax stress, let Kintsugi slide. AI in your pocket, now enjoy the ride. 9 hours saved, that's time back and play. No tax guy needed, AI clears the way. Errors cut deep, not with this plan. 98.3%, my man. Click once, integrate, white glove, you'll see. Mention awesome, get 3 months for free. Sales tax headaches? Kintsugi AI turns tax chaos into something beautiful. The smart AI monitors, files, and optimizes your sales taxes automatically, saving customers 9 hours monthly while cutting errors by 98.3%. No expensive tax guy needed here. One-click integrations and white glove support. Mention awesome for 3 months free at trykintsugi.com.
Guys, what do you guys think? Where are we at on this side of things?
I think Amer and I are going to go back on this. I'll let you go first.
Here you go. You called me out.
I called you out because you love sustainability. Now, don't get me wrong, sustainability is great. But at the end of the day, the reason why Amazon isn't because they're sustainable. It's because the customer gets their product after they order it. And then the expectation that your customer has when they purchase from you begins their journey, right? So the journey begins long before that they receive and try your product, or in our case, their dogs eat their product, right? The journey begins on the convenience in which the channel we live in. So for us, the convenience is they purchase, they receive the product in the window in which they should expect the product. And that is all about the convenience of our product before the journey of it begins, right? So yeah, can you create a sustainable product that's delivered in, 48 hours? Of course, but I'm willing to bet in whatever space that you want to challenge me in. I know, especially coming from the frozen CPG side of it and pet space, the studies and surveys that they've done over the past 24 months, convenience outweighs sustainability by more than 90%.
Okay.
So go ahead. Do you feel start now?
How much pride? Sustainable company, yes or no?
Of course we are.
Okay. And being a sustainable company, by offering monthly subscriptions, you offer convenience to your customers.
Correct.
But you can't use convenience to offer sustainability. It doesn't exist. Being a convenient to somebody becomes, in a sense, a commodity. So you actually, in the way Adam and you run the company, you are providing sustainable products with a convenience attached to it. So with sustainability, you can do both. With convenience, you can't.
And that's fair. John, help me out here, because that is a fair point.
I mean,
That is a fair point. There's like 4 times a year Amer makes a great point. Someone tracked this. Today's one of them.
write it down.
I mean, that's pretty good, Amer. Yeah, I got nothing to rebuttal that, to be honest with you.
All right,
I'm going to take the L on that. Yeah, I'll take the L.
Okay, we're taking the L. Look, this is a rare moment when Bryan takes an L here
Great job,
today.
Amer. That was a good job.
We're gonna jump over to the next one here. We're gonna talk about the future of influencers versus affiliates. That being creators versus affiliates. So ultimately, John, let's start with you, man. You use a lot of on both sides. You've got your YouTube channel, you've got a creator in-house already and a face and a brand already, but you guys are also tapping into affiliates at the same time for a reason, because it helps you spread it out, right? What are your thoughts here around the future of influencers versus affiliates?
Yeah, so I think it's changing a lot, and it's changing very, very quickly. It's not the same landscape it was 12 months ago, and it'll be a different landscape as it continues to inch towards what it is in the next 12 months. The days of paying influencers simply for the content at the levels and the rates that they're at is not sustainable, and it won't continue. Now with TikTok Shop, one of the things they've done really well is they put a lot of opportunity in the hands of creators and influencers to dictate how much they want to make, right? No cap, no salary cap. Make as many videos. At Battle Games last week, we had a full-time creator, had just done it, had just jumped in, had a full-time career for 2 decades, and he's popping 50 TikTok Shop videos a day. Pure numbers game, but he's making ridiculous amount of money because he gets paid commission on the actual sales. And I think TikTok Shop's done a great job of that, empowering these creators and influencers. But at the same time, there's been a lot of self-realization from brands where it's like, well, I'd rather pay based on success than just hopes and prayers.
Yeah, I'm guessing the way you think about it, just to clarify, just so I understand, when you think about someone you're on TikTok and they're promoting your product and they're paid for performance, ultimately, those are affiliates to you, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then you've got the people that you're paying and seeding, and you're saying, hey, here's a box, make a video about it. That's someone you would consider more of an influencer.
Yeah, but I think they're pretty blurred.
It is blurred.
So what you described, I would agree to both, but you could also sub in examples of each, and it would still apply. It's a super blurry space. Creators, influencers.
Yeah, and I also think that eventually, over the next 5 to 10 years, as the consumer base gets younger and younger, you're going to have your customers become what the current affiliate influencer is. Because everyone now, like my wife, for example, when we go on vacations, something's shifted in the millennial age group especially, and it's going to continue to shift to the Gen Z as they continue to get older. But when my wife goes on a family vacation, she'll edit the clips of the vacation in CapCut and post an incredible reel. That never happened 10 years ago. People weren't making content for fun. Now your customers are becoming almost better than the influencers and affiliates that you're paying 20, 30, 40% to. They're just doing it because they love your brand and product. And it's just a natural evolution of consumerism and the way in which we treat what we love. Because years ago, 10 years ago, my wife would post a Facebook album on Facebook. Here's 20 pictures from our vacation. Now she'll take reels. She's good enough in CapCut now because most people know how to use that. So what we're seeing at OMA's is our customers are doing this already on their own, and that's just a part of their natural organic posting habit. So they're becoming a free affiliate influencer. And within 10 years, it's going to be a tough space to compete with because that's the natural evolution of consumers on social media. So you're going to be able to attack and grab so much free content, all the money people are paying the whitelist, all the money people are paying TikTok affiliates. The younger the demographic becomes for your consumers, I'm predicting within 10 years, that's just going to be a natural occurrence across your customer base. And you're just going to be able to have free content, grab, reach out. Like I'll reach out, Nina, who runs our affiliate channel. Hey, 30 people last week posted some pretty amazing videos we'd love to run. Hey, throw an extra bag of food in next week. Let's get that video. That whole era is completely changing, and within 10 years, it's going to be wild.
You think it's going to continue to grow? It's not going to change? I think it's going to disappear.
That's what I'm saying. So I think the way in which the current affiliate and influencer structure is on live shopping or TikTok shop, that's just we're paying up the wazoo because they're great content creators. Everyone is naturally becoming a great content creator. My wife, using her as a case study, and all of her friends, they just naturally now post cool looking reels and videos and talk in front of the camera. Like my wife will go on selfie mode and be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe. And she's like, has our kids in the background. I go, babe, we're not doing this. We're not becoming a YouTube family. What are you doing? But it's just natural to her now. All her friends do it. All the mom she follows does it. So that what we're paying for is naturally occurring and evolving just in organic social media right now. It's wild. My one takeaway I want everyone to do, when you get back your brand, do a search on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and just see how many people have purchased your product or service that are already creating free, amazing content, and do what you can to reach out to them and then flywheel that because it's an untapped market right now. And I don't think people realize how many people are naturally doing it.
And Gary Vee said it earlier, like, it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter what your follower count is anymore. It's about your content and how you're resonating. And for someone like a dog food company that has a very unique subset of customers, right, who is looking for that type of product, people who have that usually have friends and followers that are following into that spectrum, right? So it's like really like a micro influencer, but again, it's done in almost like a loyalty, or they're just proud to have it.
Yes,
product,
correct,
right?
correct.
Any thoughts on there before I move on?
No, I agree with Bryan. God, that's so hard.
Say that one more time. Can we turn the volume up?
You record it. You can listen to it when they post it.
What's going on here?
No, I agree with it. Jay Myers from Bold actually had a great presentation a couple of years ago about referrals and how you can scale kind of these new age referrals that we do on social media, organically recommend companies. My problem that I have when I work with brands is they will spend $60, $70, $80 to acquire a customer, but they only give $10, $15 for referrals. How does that make sense? put the same amount of effort and energy from a monetary value into both channels and make your customers be your champions. They're already doing it. Just thank them for it.
Absolutely. All right. Let's move on here. Someone even clapped to you on that. So there's a good point.
Or was that
It's not Amer. Amer's winning right now. Amer's like 2-0.
Was that clap? We're just going to clarify. Was that clap? Who's that clap for?
It's for Amer.
For me or Amer?
He's putting you down on the
Thanks, sir.
list. All right. Let's go to the next one here. We've got exit strategies in D2C. And this one's a really broad one. Who put this up? You did?
No, so I think what we were coming up with ideas, I believe ChatGPT told me to do this one. But
What is it? Explain it.
yeah, so
Go
yeah,
ahead, or not.
yeah. So exit strategy in D2C, we're talking about, can you exit as just a D2C only brand, or what are the ways in which you can evolve a D2C brand in order to exit?
Yo, OmniSend is back with some new swag. AI is now in the mix. Yeah, you heard that. Smarter and better. Let AI decide. Personalize every line. Take your brand worldwide. How about 24/7 support? MJ of basketball, but email to sport. So sit back, relax, watch the magic unfold. Let the folks at OmniSend get your story told. Tired of staring at blank pages? OmniSend AI doesn't hit you with writer's block. Their new AI writes your emails, personalizes content, and builds customer segments instantly. Just whisper who it's for, and AI figures out the rest. Join 125,000 users already winning with OmniSend's email, SMS, and push notifications. Backed by 24/7 amazing support. Visit omnisend.com today.
Well, why don't we turn to John over here and talk about it?
Yeah.
Because John has had an exit and then he rebought the company back. And sure, one day you'll do another exit. And you are mostly a D2C brand. I guess you would 90% probably?
Yep.
Yeah, so there's definitely the exit, right? BattleBox is proof of it existing. I think the reality is a lot has changed from 2021 when we sold it to obviously now, but even 2023 when we bought it back, that the market had changed significantly. We sold it for a 6x EBITDA. We bought it back for an effective 1x. It's a big difference in numbers. The reality is that there's always going to be the poppies of the world. There's always going to be the, Curtis, like what you guys are building, right? You have that ability to get to that next level where you can get that huge $1 billion valuation. And for those brands, you absolutely can do it, right? The reality is, not to hate on BattleBox at all, but we have a not easy path. We have a path, but we have a not easy path to get to 9 figures. And then 10 is very, 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 very difficult. If you can't get to that $1 billion, though, the valuations are going to be based on EBITDA. To oversimplify it, how profitable are you?
Yeah.
Profit matters. And, the earlier speech on the 0.11 return on ad spend, if you can get to that scale, like he is, right? Like he's creating a monster juggernaut brand. And if you can get to that point, then yeah, it's great. But for the 99% of the rest of us, myself included in this audience, like profitability matters. And if you want any kind of nice exit, it's going to be a multiplier off EBITDA, and it's going to be based on how profitable you are, more than likely in your trailing 12 months.
Yeah, I'll piggyback on that too. So I would say like the past 12, really like 16 months, Adam and I, we always like joke around on social media, becoming like back to like blue collar hard hat. So like when he came out here, I'm like, just stay in my room, right? And that's sort of like the energy we bring, where we're lean, we're a family business, but ultimately EBITDA is what should keep you up at night. Unit economics should wake you up in the morning. Like we spent an hour this morning, we have 3 corrugated, shipping sizes, our boxes, right? And how can I fill each order dependent upon each corrugated box to limit the dunnage inside the box, right? Decrease the shipping window and time in transit to my consumer, and ultimately improve the customer experience. Well, that could open up our margins by 7, 8, 9, 10 points. Those are the things that we obsess over and talk about. And those are the things that constantly Adam's working on. He handles all that. I'll handle on the e-com marketing and branding side of it. But ultimately, that's something that our company has adopted a way in which that unit economics and EBITDA should be one of the only things that you think about and obsess over, because every single inch of dunnage that I get rid of in a shipping box over the course of 50,000 orders, I'm saving $120,000 that goes right to EBITDA. Okay, well now when you scale that in the same manner, you are in a much better situation. But the issue is all of that gets ignored because all the other stuff is the shiny wheel, fun stuff. Let's become obsessed with meta, which is great, but you have to look at the actual unit economics of your business and ways in which you can pull money to the bottom line without disrupting the customer experience, because that's how you make money.
What would you say, like, when you watch social media and you see other brands that are going $0 to $60 million in a year or two, like Breeze, for example, and you're seeing other companies that are doing this in the market, it kind of gives you that, like, oh, I should be able to do that, where that's not really reality in most businesses ultimately, right? Talking about EBITDA is something that I think just more recently people are starting to talk about, realizing, like, and it's not a new thing, right? EBITDA has been around forever, but like, people talk about it because it's no longer about top line relevance. There's no multiples on top line. That's a very rare case that you're seeing. And, even media, it's much more cooler to say, oh, that, Poppy got a, 6, 7x on multiple on revenue than it is to say, you got a 95x on EBITDA, because, well, the reality is that would never or rarely happen unless there was just a thing to it, right? Any thoughts behind that?
For me, like, listening to a lot of people, I actually follow Curtis on LinkedIn and the story, and a lot of entrepreneurs here. I think the biggest mistake when we look outward or even listen to a lot of people on stage is we look at a company as one stage, 0 to 100 million. There's so many stages, iterations in a company that you have to adopt. Sure, can somebody like Breeze or somebody hit a home run and be one of a million to exit? Who was it? Poppy that exited recently?
Yep.
Sure. Realistically speaking, cash flow is a big problem. How are you going to sustain and buy inventory? Are you going to borrow money against it? Are you going to raise money? I was told when I was younger, the faster you grow, the faster and harder you fall. And when you try to do the next evolution, the next stage of the company, you should make sure that the next step can hold your entire weight of your company, of your goals, of your aspirations. Because if you take that step and that step can't hold your weight, the fall is going to suck. And I'm speaking from experience because I've been there, trying to scale things too much, letting people go prematurely or too late, whatever the case is. And when I was younger, I chased brands. It was about working for P&G, Mars, like all of these big corporations. And I think us as founders, as aspirational as we are, the biggest thing we owe to ourselves and the community and the people that we're building is people trust us when they sign up to work for us. People trust us when they buy the product from us. We owe every single person that we invest into the recognition they're investing back into us as well. And I think a lot of these companies, when they're trying to go 100 miles an hour, I'm not saying they forget that, but I think if you stumble, you won't be able to catch yourself, and then you won't be able to catch them as well.
No, that's a good breakdown. And I think also you also nailed something that's interesting is that, I know that there's stages in the 0 to 100 million, but overall at the picture of it, it's not that different when it comes down to it until you get to a certain stage, right? Where in other industries, like let's go to SaaS, for example, right? It used to be 0 to 3, 3 to 10, 10 to 50, 50 to 100, whatever. And AI's changed that game now. It's 0 to 10, 10 to 25, 25 to 100, right? The game is changing just like it is changing for brands. Investor money is changing. And, obviously, depending on where this world heads in the next 12 months, I think this is going to kind of dictate where it all comes down to capital and the dollars and money that is available in the market, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Love it. All right, let's wrap this thing up. We've got one more slide that we slid in here. We need your honest opinion here, guys, because this one's a really important one. Bryan MacDonald, is he hot or not? What do we got? We got hot?
Show hands for hot.
Well, I see a lot of thumbs down. We got some. Not.
Four.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. About 2 questions ago, I made it pretty cold.
Yeah.
You know how many people came up to me yesterday? They were like, "You look just like Ben Affleck."
None of them.
Nobody.
I don't know.
No one came up to you about that.
I said it about.
You'll see later.
They were drunk. They were drunk or high, one of the two. They had too many breezes.
Very fair.
Yeah. And they were seeing double.
Yeah. Nick, they work.
We like to humble him every time, make sure that he's humbled on these things. But with that being said, guys, this is the Awesome Pod. We have new pods every Thursday. We're on YouTube. We've got about 31,000 subscribers today, and we drop a new episode every Thursday. So come check us out. Thank you guys all very much.
Thank you.
Welcome to the Awesome Pod, where we talked a lot. Ecom was the path that we walked a lot. But now the question is, will you subscribe or not?